Have you ever had that feeling? You just went grocery shopping. You swear you did, but the pantry's already looking bare. It feels like you're going crazy, right? Well, you're not imagining things. Let's talk about the invisible scam that's emptying your cupboards and your wallet.
So this was the exact problem a mom named Maria was dealing with. Her budget hadn't changed, her shopping list was the same week after week, but the food, it just seemed to vanish. At first, she figured, okay, teenage boys, growth spurt, makes sense. But what was really going on was way more calculated than that.
So I've got to ask you the same question she was asking herself. Is your family just eating more, or is there something bigger at play here? Well, it turns out the answer is hiding in plain sight on pretty much every single aisle of the grocery store.
Okay, let's really dig into Maria's mystery. Because what she stumbled upon isn't just her story. It's a story that's playing out in millions of homes. And yeah, probably yours too.
Here's what was happening right under her nose. The Cheerios box, it looked exactly the same, but it had 10% less cereal inside. That tub of ice cream in the freezer, it was 14% lighter. And the toilet paper, promising mega rolls, it had 20 fewer sheets. She was paying the same amount of money, sometimes even more, for less and less product.
And this sneaky practice, it has a name: shrinkflation. It's not an accident. It's a quiet, systematic strategy that corporations use to raise prices without you ever noticing the price tag went up. It's basically a price hike in disguise.
The best way to think about it is like this. Every time a product gets smaller but the price stays the same, you're paying a tax, a shrinkflation tax. And the crazy part is, you've been paying it for years without ever even knowing you were being charged.
So why does this work so darn well? Well, it's not just a lucky guess on their part. It's a calculated move that plugs directly into how our brains are wired. It all comes down to a little cognitive bias called attribute neglect. Basically, our brains are great at spotting big, obvious stuff, like the price on the shelf, but we are surprisingly terrible at noticing subtle changes in things like weight or volume or the number of cookies in a pack. And companies don't just know this, they've pretty much weaponized it against us.
And just how effective is it? Well, a recent study found that we are five times more likely to notice a 10% price increase than we are to notice a 10% drop in the amount of product. Now, both of those things cost you the exact same amount of money, but one of them just flies completely under our radar. Let that one sink in for a second. These companies have spent a fortune on consumer research to find the exact point where they can take something away from you before you finally catch on. They are literally hacking the limitations of your own brain to get more of your money. It's wild.
All right, so just how big is this hidden tax, really? Let's pull back the curtain and look at some of the most common products that have been shrinking right in front of us. I mean, just look at this hall of shame. Gatorade bottles lost 12% of their size. Folgers coffee cans are 15% lighter. Cottonelle toilet paper, this one's bold. They dropped 21% of the sheets while still calling the smaller package Family Mega Rolls. Even fast food isn't immune. Burger King quietly cut their nugget count from 10 to 8. That's a 20% cut. And believe me, this is just the tip of the iceberg.
So what does all this add up to? What's the real damage to your bank account? Well, using some pretty conservative estimates, the average family is paying an extra $950 a year for products they think they're getting, but aren't. That's nearly $1,000 that just evaporates. And if we zoom out, it gets so much worse. Over a 40-year adult life of shopping, that hidden tax adds up to an incredible $38,000. Think about that. That's a new car, a down payment on a house, a huge piece of your retirement, all just siphoned away, little by little.
This isn't just about making things a little bit smaller. There is an entire playbook of deceptive tricks designed to give you less while making you think you're getting the exact same deal.
They use stuff like dimensional manipulation. That giant dimple in the bottom of your peanut butter jar? Yeah, that's not for grip. It's to steal space. They inject more and more air into bags of chips. Sometimes a bag is up to 70% air. They just reduce the number of cookies in a package, they dilute laundry detergent with more water, and they even mess with the serving size on the nutrition label to make it seem like you're getting more than you are.
Okay, so what can we actually do about this? You can't just stop buying groceries, right? But what you can do is stop being such an easy target. It's time to arm yourself with some knowledge.
Here are 3 simple but really powerful habits. Number 1, Ignore the big price tag. Train your eye to look for the tiny unit price. That's the cost per ounce or per sheet. It is your best weapon, period. 2. Whenever you can, buy by weight, not by the package. And 3. Become a detective. If you notice a product has shrunk, take a picture and then switch brands. Honestly, the only thing these companies really understand is when their sales drop.
But the most important thing you can do is change your mindset. The grocery store isn't this friendly, neutral place. It is a carefully engineered environment designed by experts to get you to spend more money while noticing less. You have to stop trusting and start verifying everything.
And when you get right down to it, it's really this simple. In this system, you're not just a customer making a choice, you are a resource that's being managed and harvested for maximum profit. So the question isn't if you're being targeted by shrinkflation, because you absolutely are. The real question is, are you going to keep being an easy target?